Hello everyone, myself Sindhu, lecturer in zoology, BJS First Grade College, Kuvampanagar, Mysore. In this class, I am going to discuss about the second unit, that is phylum Protozoa for first semester, first semester students. Okay. So here, this phylum Protozoa comes under kingdom Protista, and under this phylum Protozoa, we have around 50,000 known species. 50,000 known species are there under phylum Protozoa. Then, so what does this Protozoa means? Here, proto means primitive or first. We can say a first. Zoa means animals. Okay. Protozoa. Proto means primitive. Zoa means animal. So these are the protozoans are the primitive animals or the organisms. And coming to the general characteristics, they are single celled and microscopic organisms. Single celled and microscopic animals or organisms. Okay. Unicellular organisms. Then they are the simplest and most primitive. As I told you before, protozoa, proto means primitive, most primitive organisms. And most of them are aquatic, majority of them are aquatic, found both in fresh water as well as in marine water. Okay. We can see these protozoans in fresh water as well as in marine water. Okay. And they are free living as well as they are parasite. So in case of protozoans, we have a free living protozoans as well as the parasitic forms. So free living protozoans are, as we all know, amoeba, paramecium, etc. Coming to the parasitic forms, Plasmodium vivax, entamoeba, etc. Okay. Here the next point is body grade of organization. Okay, grade of body organization. So here protozoans have the protoplasmic grade of body organization. So what does this protoplasmic grade of body organization means? The single cell organism or the single cell can perform all vital activities. Okay, a single cell performs all vital activities. And body is either naked or covered by a pellicle. Body of the organisms either naked protozoans are there, as well as the body is covered by the pellicle, outermost covering pellicle. Okay. Coming to the locomotory organelles. So here you have to be very precise. These are the locomotory organelles, okay, not organs. In case of protozoans, they have three types of locomotory organelles. Three types of locomotory organelles are there, in which the first one is pseudopodia, second one is flagella, and the third one is cilia. Okay, first one is pseudopodia, second one is flagella, third one is cilia. So as we all know, pseudopodia means pseudo refers to false, podia refers to foot or leg, isn't it? So pseudopodia, false foot. Here example is amoeba. So here what happens is amoeba, it converts any part of its body into a finger like projection, and with the help of that it moves. Okay, so that's why example for pseudopodia is amoeba. And the second type is flagella. So here example is euglena. Okay, by the flagella, with the help of flagella, the organisms like euglena move, okay, locomote or move. And the third one is cilia. Example, well known example is paramecium. Okay, here in case of protozoans, the locomotory organelles are of three types, in which first one is pseudopodia, second one is flagella, third one is cilia. Okay, and coming to the number of nuclei. Number of nuclei. Here the number of nuclei varies from 1 to several. Okay, we can see a single nucleus or the many nuclei. Okay, and some protozoa like Paramecium shows, some protozoans like Paramecium shows nuclear dimorphism. Okay, nuclear dimorphism, which means different sized nucleus or nuclei are present. Okay, nuclear dimorphism means they have the different, some of the protozoans have the different sized nuclei. Okay, when I say the different types or different sized nucleus, which means size means either micro or mega. Okay, micro or mega nuclei. Micro smaller nucleus, mega larger nucleus. Okay. Coming to the next point, different modes of nutrition are there. We can see different modes of nutrition in case of phylum protozoans or the organisms which comes under phylum protozoa. That is the Holozoic, Holophytic, Saprozoic, Saprophytic and Sporozoic. Okay, these are the 4 different modes of nutrition. Excretion takes place in contractile vacuoles. Excretion takes place in contractile vacuoles. Respiration and excretion by diffusion through the body surface. Through the body surface. Okay. Excretion and respiration is by diffusion through the body surface. Coming to the reproduction. Okay. Reproduction in case of protozoans is of 2 types. One is sexual reproduction and the other one is asexual reproduction. Sexual and asexual reproduction. So here asexual reproduction is by fission. Fission, okay, in which we have binary fission and multiple fission. Asexual reproduction is by binary or multiple fission, okay, and sexual reproduction is by conjugation or syngamy, okay, conjugation or syngamy. And we have a important characteristic feature in case of phylum protozoans. Most of the in some protozoans we can see a thick outer covering, okay, that is what is called encystment. So encystment means thick outer covering which helps to resist the unfavorable conditions such as food, temperature and moisture. Okay, encystment means it's a thick outer covering of the protozoan's body that helps them to resist the unfavorable conditions. Okay, and several protozoans have complicated life cycle. Several protozoans have complicated life cycle with alternation of sexual and asexual generation. For this we can give an example of Plasmodium vivax, okay, which is a parasite, protozoan parasite or malarial parasite we can say, okay. An example is, a few examples for phylum protozoa is amoeba, entamoeba, euglena, verticilla, paramecium, okay, Plasmodium vivax, etc. So this is about the general characteristics. Coming to the subphylum, under phylum protozoa we have 2 subphylum, okay, 2 subphyla are there, in which the first one is Plasmodroma and the second one is Coeliophora, okay, subphyla Plasmodroma and the second subphyla, that is Coeliophora. So let's start with the subphyla Plasmodroma. So the organisms which comes under subphyla Plasmodroma, they found in soil, fresh water as well as in marine water. Okay, we can see or they found in the soil, fresh water as well as in marine water. And locomotion is either by pseudopodia or flagella. Okay, they locomote with the help of pseudopodia or flagella. And number of nucleus may one or more. Okay, one or more nucleus or nuclei are present. Sexual reproduction by syngamy, okay, syngamy, and asexual reproduction is by binary fission or the multiple fission. Okay, so these are the few points about the subphyla Plasmodroma. So coming to the classification, here classification is based on the locomotory organelles as well as it is based on the classification is based on the presence of number of nuclei. Okay. Coming to the classification under subphylum Plasmodroma, okay, under the subphylum Plasmodroma we have three classes, okay, in which the first one is Sarcodina or Rhizopoda, okay, and the second one is Mastigophora, class Mastigophora, third one is Sporozoa. So these are the three classes which comes under subphyla Plasmodroma, okay, and let's start with the class, first class Sarcodina or Rhizopoda, okay. The organisms or the protozoans which comes under this class Sarcodina includes the simplest protozoa, okay, simplest protozoa with blunt pseudopodia for locomotion as well as for the capturing of food, okay, and food vacuole serves for nutrition, and contractile vacuoles serves for excretion, okay. Food vacuole serves for nutrition, contractile vacuole serves for excretion. And nuclei are one or more in number, okay. The protozoans which comes under class Sarcodina, they have one or more nuclei, okay, and there is no meganucleus. This seems to be very important. There is no meganucleus. Nucleus may one or more in number, but there is absence of meganucleus, which means only micronucleus are present in case of Sarcodina. The protozoans or the organisms comes under class Sarcodina. And example for this particular class is amoeba and entamoeba, okay, amoeba and entamoeba. Coming to the second class, that is class Mastigophora, Here what happens is the protozoans bearing one or more flagella for locomotion, okay. The protozoans which comes under class Mastigophora bearing one or more flagella for locomotion, okay, for the movement, and presence of chlorophyll pigment, okay. This point seems to be very important. So the organisms or the protozoans which comes under class Mastigophora, they possesses a important characteristic feature, that is the presence of chlorophyll pigment, okay. As we all know, the chlorophyll pigment present in case of enormously present in case of plants, isn't it, green plants. So this pigment, chlorophyll pigment, is present in some protozoans, okay, as in case of plants, and this pigment, the chlorophyll pigment, helps the protozoans to prepare its own food. Several flagellates are able to prepare food by photosynthesis due to the presence of chlorophyll pigment. That is what I meant, okay. And reproduction is by fission that is particularly a longitudinal fission. Okay, reproduction is by the longitudinal fission, and a few examples are Euglena and Leishmania. Euglena and Leishmania. Okay, coming to the last class under subphyla Plasmodroma is class Sporozoa. Class Sporozoa. Here what happens is the adult Sporozoa, okay, without external locomotory organelles. Okay, here what happens is in case of the class Sporozoa, adult protozoans without external locomotory organelles. There is no external locomotory organelles. Contractile vacuoles are absent. Contractile vacuoles are absent. Parasitic protozoans which produces spores in order to occur this sexual reproduction. Okay, so parasitic protozoans produces spores. An example for this particular class Sporozoa is Gregarina. Gregarina. Okay, so in case of this class, what happens is the adult sporozoans or the protozoa, they do not have the external locomotory organelles and contractile vacuole is absent. Along with that, they produce spores, okay, for the reproduction. Okay, they produce spores for the reproduction. So these are the three classes which comes under subphyla Plasmodroma. Coming to the second subphyla, so the second subphyla is Coeliophora. Okay, second subphyla is Coeliophora. Here, this subphyla includes Paramecium, Verticella, etc. Okay, develops cilia for locomotion. Okay, cilia for locomotion, and nuclei are always 2 in number. Nuclei are always 2 in number. It may be mega or micronucleus. Okay. So under this subphyla Coeliophora, we have two classes in which the first one is Ciliata, class Ciliata, and the second one is class Suctoria. Okay, these are the two classes which comes under subphyla Coeliophora. Okay, so coming to the class Ciliata, here cilia are chief locomotory and food capturing organelles. Okay, here what happens is the cilia, the small tiny hair-like structures, are chiefly locomotory organelles. Along with that, food capturing, it acts as a food capturing organelles. Okay, contractile vacuoles are usually present in case of class Ciliata. Okay, and two kinds of nuclei are present. Two kinds means mega nucleus and micro nucleus. Okay, smaller and larger nucleus. Asexual reproduction occurs by binary fission. Asexual reproduction by binary fission, sexual reproduction by conjugation. Okay, conjugation. And example for this particular class Ciliata are Balantidium, Paramecium and Verticella. These are the few examples. Okay, and coming to the next class under subphyla Coeliophora is Suctoria, class Suctoria. Okay, here what happens is body is rounded, oval in shape, rounded, oval or colonial in shape. Okay, body is rounded, oval or colonial in shape. Locomotory organelles are absent in adult stage. This seems to be very, very important. The organisms which comes under class Suctoria, they do not have locomotory organelles, particularly in the adult stage. Okay, and mouth is absent, Mouth is also absent, but it is replaced with the tentacles. Okay, and contractile vacuoles are 1 to several in number. Okay, again this is an important characteristic feature. Contractile vacuoles 1 to several in number. An example for this particular class Suctoria is bugula. Okay, so here the thing is, under subphyla Plasmodroma we have 3 classes, isn't it? In which the first one is the Sarcodina or Rhizopoda, second one is Mastigophora, and the third one is Sporozoa. Okay, these are the 3 classes which comes under subphyla Plasmodroma. Coming to the subphyla Coeliophora, we have 2 classes, in which the first one is Ciliata and the second one is Suctoria. Okay, so totally under phylum Protozoa we have 5 classes. Okay, so this is about the general characteristics and classification of phylum Protozoa. Thank you.